actual contractual obligation that he didn't follow, so he breached. He was supposed to wear a rain patch on his shorts. He didn't. And he's going to have to pay $100,000 for that. Breached another confidential, like he can't speak about anything, money, how much he got paid or whatnot. And we asked him to retract his statements, and he didn't. We gave him some time. We didn't want to do it. Now we're going to do it. So, yeah, we tried. We tried working with him and Whack, and they weren't really with it. And they didn't want to work with us, so sucks. But yeah, we tried. I literally wanted to pay him multiple times. You could ask Ack. Every fighter got paid after brand risk. Every fighter. Everybody's paid except him. Why? Because you can't go around saying that shit's rigged, and you can't not wear a rainback patch on your shorts when you contractually sign an obligation. And yeah, you can't talk about how much you're paying or being paid. So yeah, it sucks.
So yeah, everybody has been locked in on the brand risk boxing event all week, but let's keep it real. This situation is still running the conversation right now. The chaos from that night just keeps growing, and it is not slowing down anytime soon. What was supposed to be just a big event has now turned into a straight-up showdown, and this one is serious. You got Adin Ross, the guy behind the whole setup, going head-to-head with Blueface, the biggest name who stepped into that ring. Right after the fight wrapped up, things already felt off, like the energy shifted instantly. Then the judges dropped the decision, unanimous win for BU, and that says everything. No split calls, no debate, just a clean decision across the board. Every judge saw it the same way. No questions asked. But Blueface was not accepting that result at all, not even for a second. So when Adin stepped in to do the post-fight interview and asked about a possible return, that is when everything snapped. Blueface came in blunt, saying he is probably done with brand risk, then took it even further by throwing a serious accusation out there, claiming Adin rigged the fights because of gambling. Yeah, he said it clear as day, no hesitation, and from that moment, the whole situation started spiraling fast. You could instantly tell Adin was not okay with that, not even a little. And honestly, it is not hard to see why. He is trying to build something from nothing, putting real effort into making this event matter. He is laying the foundation, trying to turn brand risk into something legit. So when your headline fighter, the biggest draw on the card, steps up and accuses you of fixing fights, that is not just talk, that hits heavy and puts everything under pressure. What really makes this situation look wild is the fact that the whole event is connected to a gambling sponsor. That detail alone raises eyebrows instantly, and it only made everything sound more suspicious. But Blueface did not just say it once and move on, not at all. He kept repeating the same claim over and over like he was trying to stamp it into people's minds. Anytime he went live or jumped on social media, he stayed locked on that same point. He kept saying the event was rigged, making sure it stayed in the spotlight. This was not just heat of the moment talk anymore, it turned into something he kept pushing consistently. And you could see the tension building more and more every minute.
Back in here, bro? Can we see you back in brand risk?
Hey, you know damn well you ain't gonna lose your own money on your own fight card. I definitely wouldn't score that in a unanimous decision. I'd give it 4-2. But hey, shout out to brand risk.
Shout out to brand risk. And Blue, if you do get back on brand risk, do you want a rematch or who do you want to fight?
I probably won't get back on brand risk because you tampering with the bets.
Never that, never that.
Then he switched it up and started talking about the money, and that grabbed attention fast. While calling out the situation, he also spoke on what he earned from the fight, and people immediately tuned in. He did not go into full detail, but when someone straight up asked him in the chat how much he got paid, he gave an answer that had people reacting instantly. He said he pulled in over $300,000. That number started moving quickly across conversations, and now people had even more to focus on. It was no longer just about the accusations. Now the money side was adding extra pressure and making the whole situation look even crazier. So yeah, that whole money answer sounded kind of unclear at first, nothing too detailed. But it turns out that one comment may have caused way bigger problems than people expected. A few days later, Adin Ross went live, and you could instantly tell something was off. His energy was different, and when Blueface got brought up, it was clear he was not in a good mood at all. He came in heated and started speaking on everything without holding back. During that stream, Adin told viewers that Blueface was getting hit with a $100,000 fine for breaking contract rules, and he made it clear this was not just about one small issue. He started stacking up reasons back to back. One major point he brought up was about a sponsor deal. According to Adin, Blueface had agreed to wear a Rainbet sponsor on his shorts during the fight. But when it was actually time to step in the ring, that sponsor was missing completely, and from Adin's point of view, that alone counted as a direct contract violation.
His conferences, Adin is more confident than his own fighter. How that works out doesn't make any sense. You must know something we don't know. If you're more confident than your own fighter. But we'll let him explain, chat. If what I'm saying is not true, feel me? You won't care to address it, right? That's how life works, chat. Somebody says that I'm a chat, I won't care to address it because it's not true. Now, if it were true, I would over-explain myself and try to get you guys to believe that it's not. That's what Adin's doing right now. Because he's receiving the real conversation. He didn't play.
Then he added another problem on top of that. Adin explained that fighters are not supposed to speak publicly about how much they get paid. Even though Blueface did not give a super exact number, he still said he made over $300,000. And according to Adin, that was enough to cross the line and count as another violation. And this is where everything really started getting out of control fast. What was already messy turned into a full-on back-and-forth situation. Adin Ross, Blueface, and his manager, Whack 100, were all going at it non-stop. The tension spilled all over social media, and it kept escalating throughout the entire day. Everything started happening so fast that it was hard to even keep up with it all. There were clips, reactions, posts flying everywhere at the same time. Instead of trying to break down every tiny detail all at once, it makes way more sense to go through it piece by piece and see how it all played out. Because there is a lot going on here, and it only gets more intense. Once that clip of Adin talking about contract violations started going viral, Blueface wasted no time jumping in. He went straight to Twitter and fired back with, "Looking for a way not to pay is not a good look. I'm gonna get mines regardless." That line alone got people locked in immediately.
Boxing is the sport comes with losses. How much did I make on the fight? I ain't gonna tell you how much I made, but I'll tell you that I made over 300,000. I'll let you guess from there. And that's just for the fight. That's not even including.
Now it was not fully clear if he was throwing a warning or just speaking with confidence, but either way, that post took off fast. It pulled in around 1 million views, and that kind of attention only added more heat to the situation. That is not the type of spotlight you want when things are already looking shaky, and this is where it starts getting risky for the bigger picture. Blueface is the biggest name to step into that ring so far, no question, so when he is publicly saying things like this, it starts making people look twice at what is going on behind the scenes. Other fighters could easily see this and start thinking something is off, like maybe business is not being handled the right way.
I'm here.
Ruger, you were supposed to fight Blueface.
Yeah.
Blue, he was supposed to fight you. I wanted that fight to happen. It didn't happen because they said you're inexperienced and don't have that much boxing experience at all. So, but I would have loved to see that fight happen.
That kind of doubt can push people away before they even get involved. And once reputation starts taking hits like that, it becomes a serious problem for the whole brand. But Adin did not stay quiet at all. He responded directly and called Blueface unintelligent, then stood firm on everything he said. He made it clear that if Blueface took back the claim about the event being rigged, he would have been paid in full, no problem. At that point, things fully turned chaotic. Both sides were locked in, neither one backing down. Adin also told him to take accountability, saying he needs to act like a grown man and own up to what happened, which only added more fire to an already heated situation. Adin made his position crystal clear. From his point of view, Blueface lost the fight, then went on to break the contract he agreed to, and that falls on him, nobody else.
If you think I'm lying so much, not only will I sign a piece of paper, I'll even have Rainbet sign it. I'm going to send you half of what you're supposed to get from my own bank account. I'll send it. That's the guarantee that if so once you sign the paper that he's going to get on stream and say whatever, and remember, you're just saying that you never meant that Rainbet is fixing fights. So Adin's going to pay him half of his personal money. And I'm like, this is a great deal. Wack then says, we want a little bit more than half. He throws on like an extra, I won't say the amount, but I was like, all right, bet. I was like, But Adin's like, all right, I'll do that. So we have a deal. It feels like a LeBron trade, right? We have a deal, in principle. The deal is Adin's going to give half his money, half of the purse that Blueface was earned or owed.
He doubled down hard and basically said if you are not going to follow a contract, then do not sign it in the first place. Simple logic, no way around it. He kept pushing that same message too. According to Adin, everyone else involved got paid quickly with zero problems, no delays, no complaints. But when it came to Blueface, he was the only one left out, and Adin says it all ties back to those contract violations. Then he added another layer to it. Adin said if Blueface would just drop the tough act and take back what he said about the event being rigged, the payment would have already been handled in full. That was his stance, direct and not changing. Now looking at that response, yeah, Adin was coming in strong, no doubt about it. But at the same time, you can understand part of his angle. Saying an event is rigged is not a small claim that can damage everything he is trying to build from the ground up. But on the other side, letting all of this spill out across social media like this is not a great look either. It makes everything feel messy, like things are not being handled properly behind the scenes. And when it starts looking unorganized like that, it raises questions fast. That kind of image can easily make other fighters hesitate. Anyone thinking about stepping into that space might start second-guessing everything after seeing this play out. But this situation was far from over. Blueface came right back again and did not hold back at all. He said he never actually revealed his exact pay and claimed the reasons being used against him were starting to look obvious. He also pushed back on the contract talk, saying he was never required to wear any sponsor patch in the first place. And even if that $100,000 fine was real, he made it clear that number still does not come close to what he believes he is owed. And he kept the pressure on, questioning why he should even take anything back in the first place, making it clear he is not backing down anytime soon. From Blueface's perspective, if he did not get the money he believes he earned, then that just proves his point that the whole situation was bad business from the start. He even said the problems did not begin after the fight. They started about a week before everything went down. According to him, his opponent got switched last minute, and that already had him looking at things sideways. For context, he was originally supposed to face Chicago rapper Ruger, which actually made sense on paper. Two known names, different cities, built-in hype. But even though that fight got cancelled, Ruger still stayed on the card and fought someone else, which made the whole situation look strange.
To Blueface, he's gonna sign this little deal thing to say, I am going to clarify that I never meant, even if I insinuated or said, that Rainbet fixed my fight, and then I'll get the other half after the stream. I get that deal. Wack says yes. I say, all right, cool. Adin, go hit your lawyer. Adin hits his lawyer. I think they have an offline conversation because I think Adin's lawyer sent him stuff and he sent it directly to Wack. Wack calls me back and says, we ain't doing this. All that for nothing. All that for nothing. Essentially, he tells Adin, if the statement that y'all prepared for me to say, if I say that would, or if Blue says that would be killing his reputation. He would just have no more, people would look at him like he's done, like out of here. So he says he's not doing that. I said, Wack, yo, I'm trying to get y'all money. I have no horse in the race.
Instead, Blueface ended up facing a different opponent from LA, and the switch raised questions fast. The explanation going around was that officials stepped in and felt the skill gap between Ruger and Blueface was too big to approve the fight. So just like that, the matchup got scrapped and everything shifted before the event even started. But here is where it gets confusing. Even though that original fight got shut down, Ruger was still kept on the card anyway. Normally, when something like that happens, the opponent gets pulled completely, but that did not happen here. He stayed, got a different matchup, and won, which is a big reason why Blueface keeps calling the situation bad business. Then things spilled into the comments, and Blueface started going back and forth with people directly. At one point, he brought up that clip about his pay again and then posted another clip of Adin talking about money from a live stream. But that clip did not really match the situation, since Adin was talking about stream revenue, not fighter payments, which left people confused about what point was being made. The money topic kept coming up too. Blueface said he never gave an exact number, only that he made over $300,000, which still left a lot of room for interpretation. That could mean a range of numbers, and people kept debating it non-stop. Then he took another shot online, posting, "You've been doing this, buddy," along with a screenshot tied to a legal complaint involving Adin Ross and a gambling platform. But that situation was not directly connected to the boxing event, which made things even more unclear. And right when it seemed like things could not get more heated, his manager Whack 100 stepped in and turned it up even more. He went public, called Adin a liar, and even claimed he would bet $1 million that no contract could be shown to back any of this up. That bold statement instantly added more pressure and pushed the whole situation even further. Now this next part is where things start getting real wild. There was a claim floating around that sounded straight out of a script. People were sharing what looked like a pre-written PR apology, something Adin Ross and his team allegedly wanted Blueface to post publicly.
I bet you can't show nowhere where Blueface said rain bet or brand risk rigged anything. You could show me 2-3 places where he said you, Adin, you as an individual, that tampering with things, and I just showed you why he's thinking these things. I don't know if your partners know that you're saying these things and doing these things. Maybe you need to slow down. Maybe you're moving so fast and you know what's happening for you so fast that you feel like you untouchable, but I didn't see no untouchable get touched.
The message itself was direct and cleaned everything up in one move. It had lines like, "I said a few things over the weekend that I wanted to address and clear up. I was heated after the loss. I said Brand Risk and Adin Ross rigged the fights. That's not true, and I don't have any proof." It even went on to clarify the money, saying the $300,000 came from outside deals, not the event itself. If that message got posted, it would have completely flipped the story. It clears Adin, clears the event, and puts everything on emotions after the fight. And from what was being said, there was even a follow-up asking, "Is this okay?" along with talk of an agreement ready to go. That is what made this feel way more serious. This was no longer just random posts and reactions. It started looking like real negotiations happening in public. Both sides trying to control how the story plays out at the same time. Then, Whack 100 stepped in again and shut that idea down fast. He made it clear that no apology like that was ever part of the original contract. According to him, there was never any agreement saying Blueface had to take anything back just to get paid. That was never written, never discussed like that. So now you have both sides standing firm, each one claiming they are right and nobody backing off. Looking at Adin's side, you can see why this is a problem. When Blueface goes online saying he made over $300,000, even without full details, that number spreads fast.
In this business, we're gonna call a spade a spade. January, third week of January, you couldn't bet. Rain bet, brand risk. A month later, not even 3 weeks later, March 14th, you ready to bet 180 grand with DDG, you bet 20 grand. 1 minute you saying you can't. Did the rules change from January to March to where you said you get in trouble if you place a bet and this, that? Or was it that possibly, maybe you had something, possibly you had something going on. Now you wondering why Blueface is thinking you rigged the bet, you rigged the fight. So listen, never one time did he say brand risk.
Other fighters start seeing that and thinking they should be getting even more, and that can throw off future deals completely. And on top of that, being accused of rigging fights or anything tied to gambling is serious. Even without proof, those claims can hit a brand hard and fast. But then you flip it, and Blueface's angle starts to make sense too. He trained, showed up, and put in the work. From his point of view, he just wants what he believes he earned. Instead, it feels like new conditions are getting added after everything is already done, and that is where the frustration kicks in. Meanwhile, Whack kept posting and adding more fuel to the situation. Some of his points did not fully land, especially when it came to who actually runs things, but it still kept the conversation going. Then the betting topic came back up and made things even more messy. Adin had said before he does not bet on fights, but now people were questioning that again, and that contradiction had everyone paying attention. And just when it seemed like things might slow down, more voices jumped in and pushed it even further. More reactions, more opinions, more attention. At this point, it is clear why Blueface is not trying to walk anything back. If you already came out strong accusing the event of being rigged, stepping back now would completely change the whole narrative, and he is not trying to do that at all. Switching up and dropping an apology like that can hit your image hard. Even if people know it is PR, it still feels like a full reversal. Yeah, public figures do it all the time, but in this situation, it carries a different weight.
Between you and Blue.
I mean, it's only one way to find out.
And I would love to make that fight eventually happen. Blue, eventually, I know you were down for it, but...
What Adin was asking for was not unusual on paper. It was a typical cleanup move, fix the narrative and keep things moving. But for Blueface, posting that could make him look like he is backing down, and that is not something he wanted to do. Adin kept saying it was simple. Take back the comments and the payment would have been handled. He even claimed he was willing to cover part of it himself to move things forward. The rest would follow after everything was cleared publicly, but since Blueface refused, everything stalled out. No agreement, no payment, nothing resolved. Now it has turned into a full standoff. Adin is holding his position, saying the contract was broken and needs to be fixed first. Blueface and his side are saying the work is done and payment should not come with extra conditions. The longer this plays out, the worse it looks for everyone. People are split, opinions are everywhere, and others are watching closely. Then that call between Adin and WAC 100 happened, and it was straight chaos. Talking over each other, no structure, no solution, nothing got fixed, and the situation just keeps getting messier. Adin said this whole situation only went public because of Blueface and WAC 100, and honestly, looking at how everything played out, that might have been the biggest mistake. Because now, instead of handling it behind closed doors, everything is out in the open, and it is making both sides look bad at the same time. At this point, it does not even feel like anyone is winning here. The longer this keeps going, the more it starts looking like it could turn into a full legal situation that probably could have been avoided. And a lot of it comes down to pride and ego. Nobody wants to look wrong, nobody wants to step back, and that just keeps making things worse. Hopefully it does not go that far, because once legal issues get involved, everything changes fast. But from the outside, that is exactly where it looks like this could be heading. But now it really comes down to you. What do you think about this whole situation? Who is actually in the wrong here? Is it Blueface? Is it Adin? Or do you think both sides played a role in letting this spiral out of control? Drop your thoughts and say what is really on your mind. And if you watched all the way through, make sure you like, share, and subscribe so you do not miss what is coming next. Stay locked in for more updates and more situations like this.